conditions that Dick Butkus and Ray Nitschke would have enjoyed, Al.
Oh, certainly. There's no question about that. And in fact, it may even get down to the point where we have snow pellets or snow showers before the night is done. So this battle in the NFC North, Green Bay has the upper hand because they have a head-to-head win against Minnesota. Chicago 4-6, and Detroit has won 3 in a row. They routed Philadelphia today in the Motor City, so Detroit is now 4-7. John Fox in his first year at Chicago. Mike McCarthy in his 10th year at Green Bay. Of course, Foxy has led both Carolina and Denver to Super Bowl appearances. Chicago won the toss. They have elected to defer, so they're going to give Green Bay the ball, and Robbie Gould will kick off. It is 35 degrees right now, 1 degree less than we just saw. Jeff Janis, who had a big run back in Minnesota last week of 70 yards, will set up in the end zone and bring this one back from 3 yards in. And Chicago right there to stop him as he gets to the 16-yard line. Sherrick McManus makes the tackle. Here are the Packers starters.
Aaron Rodgers, Butte Community College.
James Starks, University of Buffalo.
Randall Cobb, Kentucky.
Devontae Adams, Fresno State.
James Jones, San Jose State.
Richard Rogers, Cal Berkeley.
David Bakhtiari, University of Colorado, Boulder.
Josh Seddon, Central Florida.
J.C. Treader, Cornell University.
T.J. Lang, Birmingham Brother Rice.
Brian Balaga, Iowa.
Green Bay likes to go fast. Of course, that's in better elements than this. They might even try it here tonight. We'll find out shortly. Rodgers rolling, and he is under pressure, and he's forced to throw it away. That was Willie Young, number 97. So Aaron spinning away, going to his left side. Can't get it away, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, really nice play by Willie Young on the outside as Aaron came flipping around that way. He grabbed Richard Rodgers, not holding him, just kept him from getting to his route, and Rodgers had no choice but to throw it away.
And they come up no huddle here on 2nd down and 10. Eddie Lacy, the running back, had a big game last week in Minnesota. And a good run here. He's off to a good start tonight. Breaking tackles. Past the 40. And out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Kyle Fuller looking for all the world like Marshawn Lynch. Eddie Lacy healthy again. And a big gain there of 29 yards.
Jonathan Anderson tried to shoot through on his linebacker position. Really just no support there. And for Eddie Lacy, he's picking up right where he left off a week ago. He was huge in that game against the Vikings.
Spun away from the rookie safety, Adrian Amos. Here he goes again over the left side. And he churns out 5 yards to the 49-yard line. When the season began, there was so much talk about Lacy in his 3rd year out of Alabama, drafted number 2 in 2013, that he was overweight. And the Packers poo-pooed it, but then he got hurt, and he was inactive for a game. James Starks took over as the lead back, but now Lacy is back and looking real good. 2nd and 5. Give it to him again. And bounces off Acho and then gets taken down after a gain of a couple. 3rd and short. Aaron Rodgers in his last 3 games against the Bears, that's 2 last year and the opener this year in Chicago. 13 touchdowns, no picks. He has just killed the Bears in his career, which began as a starter in 2008. 32 to the outside, having to reach down for it is Randall Cobb. So they're short of the 1st down. That's Bryce Callahan covering on the play. And Rodgers looking over to the bench, seeing if McCarthy's going to give him the go-ahead to go for it. And for the moment, to keep the offense out on the field.
At least going to go the hard count here. Just a poor throw that time by Aaron, though. Didn't give the receiver a chance at all to pick up that 1st down.
So at the 48-yard line, they will at least line up to go for it. And they are going to go for it. And they give it to Lacy. And Lacy's going to get stuffed. So the Chicago Bears will take over at midfield. As they stuff him on a 4th and 2, Jonathan Anderson, a rookie, makes the tackle. A couple of minutes into the game on Thanksgiving night in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Sunday Night Football on Thanksgiving night brought to you by Verizon. Better Matters by Walmart. Share wonder every day. By BMW, we make only one thing, the ultimate driving machine. And by Nationwide, Nationwide is on your side. So that's where cranberry sauce comes from. America's Dairyland, also the largest producer of cranberries. It's the state fruit of Wisconsin. Some cranberry sauce before this one's done, don't we? After that.
Didn't know that.
All right, Jay Cutler takes over, 48-yard line after Green Bay surprisingly went for it on 4th and 2. Matt Forte is back in the lineup after a 3-game absence with a sprained MCL, and they give it to him, and he picks up a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. So Jay Cutler has not played well here, obviously. Take a look at that. 0-4. He made his Bears debut here in 2009 through 4 interceptions in that game, and it hasn't gotten a lot better since. 3 touchdowns, 12 picks in his starts on this surface. 2nd and 10. Bears in a tight formation, and the pass goes to the outside, and then slipping and falling is Kari Lee, one of their tight ends. Comes up a couple of yards short of the 1st down. They have no Martellus Bennett tonight, and that is huge because Bennett's such a big part of their offense, and Green Bay's really struggled against tight ends. 3rd and 3. Cutler goes hurry up here, and then he goes deep downfield and too deep. Trying to one-hand it was Marquise Wilson. Incomplete 4th down.
Well, it was Wilson who came up with the big game a week ago, had over 100 yards receiving at the top of the screen, just going to work there against Randall, and really had an opportunity. I thought he hesitated just one moment in that route and maybe just threw off the timing from Jay Cutler. So McCarthy gets away with a chance early on.
Now Patrick O'Donnell to do the punting. Randall Cobb stands back at his own 10-yard line and calls for a fair catch on a very short kick and goes to his knees to collect it at the 17-yard line. So each team has had the ball once at Lambeau Field early 1st quarter. Don't miss a moment of Sunday Night Football with NBC Sports Live Extra. Take the game with you anytime, anywhere, laptop, tablet, and connected TVs. Speaking of Sunday Night Football, in 72 hours we got a pretty good one. New England at Denver. But first things first, back to Green Bay. Each team one possession. Rodgers starts this drive from the 16-yard line. And out of the pistol, short flip, and then breaking a tackle and staying in bounds, Devontae Adams. Let's take a look at the Chicago defense.
Bruce Gaster, Boilermakers.
Eddie Goldman, FSU.
Jarvis Jenkins, Clemson.
Sam Acho, Texas.
Shea McClellan, Boise State.
Christian Jones, Florida State.
Pernell McPhee, Pahokee, Florida.
Tracy Porter, Indiana University.
Adrian Amos, Penn State.
Chris Brzezinski,
Wyoming. Kyle Fuller, Virginia Tech.
One starter who's missing as the pass for James Jones is incomplete. Will Sutton, their defensive end, was a healthy scratch tonight, so a coach's decision. He's not in the lineup. You saw them starting Bruce Gaston, who actually started the season with Green Bay and played against Chicago in the opener in September. 3rd down and 4. Rodgers so good at that. Here's another free play. This is where he really excels, but not this time. The pass is incomplete, and another flag comes in the secondary. So Rodgers, the master at drawing the opposing team offside and then normally going long with it. John Fox looks on. It was a 3rd down and 4. You got a couple of flags here. You got clearly offside against Chicago and then something else downfield. Ed Hockley is the referee.
Fans are thinking it's raining out here, guys. Let's put a wrap on that.
There were 2 fouls by the defense. Offside, number 92. That penalty is declined. There's also illegal contact, number 21. That penalty is enforced 5 yards from the previous spot. 1st down.
Either penalty is 5 yards.
Yeah, didn't matter. There's Tracy Porter well beyond the 5-yard limit, and there's you know, it is crazy to see every time we come in here, especially in this stadium, they just cannot help themselves defensively. He has something, and when you watch him do it, it's not like he does a head bob or jerks his hands or any of that kind of stuff. Somehow he does with just the voice inflection.
From the 27-yard line. Little flip, little shovel pass to Eddie Lacy. Look at what it takes to bring this guy down out to the 34. Chris talking about those free plays. When he draws you offside, what he normally does is go deep downfield. So this year, 6 for 6, 2 touchdowns, plus a defensive pass interference penalty called on Richard Sherman in week 2. That was good for 52 yards. They're going quickly again. Eddie Lacy bowling balls his way out to the 42-yard line for a first down.
You just get the feeling that Eddie Lacy is going to do what he's done basically every year of his career, and that is simply, watch the center, Treader here replacing Corey Linsley in this game. But every single year it seems like Eddie Lacy is the guy that gets better at this time of year.
Now James Starks comes into the game, and Starks, who is the classic backup back, he does a great job in the secondary role, and then when he has to come in and fill in for a Lacy when Lacy was hurt or whatever, Starks does the job.
Yeah, and Mike McCarthy saying the reason Eddie Lacy's had his carries reduced is because James Starks has been so good.
Second down and 7 from the 44-yard line. And Rodgers puts it down. Around the left side he goes, and Aaron will be taken out of bounds a little short of the first down by Jonathan Anderson. So Aaron, he was listed on the injury report a couple of weeks ago with a shoulder injury, but played in Minnesota, looked fine, and not on the report this week, Chris.
Yeah, I really think it started in Denver, don't you? We did that game, and you saw him early in that game get hit a lot. And Mike McCarthy telling us it really has been that way for the last 3 weeks or so. Already 24 sacks on the season, only sacked 28 times all of last year.
He does it again, and now, but this time it may have been Bulaga moving first. No, they're gonna call maybe unabated to the quarterback.
Infraction defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
Well, they stopped the play. McPhee came across the line. It's a break for the Bears.
Watch Aaron Rodgers as he does this. You can't tell anything. I mean, it's not like some quarterbacks back in the day, they would flinch and they would do all these things and that became a penalty, and Aaron Rodgers just has some way of working his voice. I think it's just so repetitive every other snap that when he changes it up, it just seems to draw him off sides.
Second, third down conversion via penalty on this drive, and now he's going to air it out deep downfield and incomplete. That's Tracy Porter covering Devontae Adams. Second down.
Well, Devontae Adams has been struggling with an ankle injury for a while, but really one of the big surprises this year is how well Tracy Porter has played. A veteran guy, you'll remember him back in the Super Bowl picking off Peyton Manning and running it in for the game clincher for the Saints that year. So he's a guy with a little history against great quarterbacks.
Yeah, also picked off Brett Favre in the NFC Championship game. That's a real good tackle as Cobb makes the catch, and Bryce Callahan, a rookie out of Rice, makes the stop.
Yeah, Bryce Callahan's come in there and now sort of taken over that slot position for Sherrick McManus, who did it the first 6 games. And he's done well. A rookie that you don't expect in that sort of pivotal position. But believe me, the Green Bay Packers know where that rookie is. They're going to go pick on him tonight.
Green Bay already running its 15th play in about 6.5 minutes. And Rodgers throws, and that's dropped. Devontae Adams, and they've had a bunch of drops this season. One right there, 4th down.
Well, watching pregame warm-up, I saw more balls dropped in pregame, I think, than I've seen all season. It is slimy out here, but really no excuse on that one. Aaron Rodgers hit that perfectly, and maybe Packers fans starting to feel like, uh-oh, we're not going back to that 3-game losing streak style in offense, are we?
You know, we've also seen some gusts. So the meter just go to about 15 miles an hour. Mariani makes a fair catch in Chicago. Will take over. 8.5 to go in the first.
Brett plays football, just like you would in the backyard with all your friends. He just happens to be doing it in front of 70,000+ people.
He enjoyed the game so much, and that was clear to his teammates, and they loved him for that. He made the game fun, whether it was practice or whether it was riding on a bus or in a plane. He took a game that people turned into a profession and brought the game back to it.
Brett Favre, that number will be retired at halftime, and also in the third quarter we're going to get Brett up here in the booth to find out what's going on with the rest of his life. Yeah, that will be fun. And now we've got a penalty as this drive gets ready to start, a false start against Chicago.
False start offense, number 82, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Jay Cutler played last Sunday against Denver. His wife gave birth, Kristen, to their third child on Monday. Mom and baby daughter, Sailor James, went home on Tuesday, took a bus ride up here yesterday and plays tonight. Apart from that, not much going on in his life this week.
Baby number 3, can't wait for Friday, the first time his entire family will be in the house together at the same time.
Congratulations to the Cutlers. Now the birth of their daughter is on 1st and 15 now. Forte picks up 6, and let's take a look at the Chicago starters.
Jay Cutler, Vanderbilt University.
Matt Forte, Tulane. Alshon Jeffrey, South Carolina.
Marquise Wilson, Washington State.
Ari Lee, Bowie State University.
Zach Miller, Weston, Nebraska.
Charles Leno Jr., Boise State.
Matt Slauson, Nebraska.
Coronas Karasu, Oregon.
Patrick Omame, University of Michigan.
Kyle Long, Saddleback Junior College.
Kyle Long, third year in the league, been to the Pro Bowl in each of the first 2, and Forte will get wrapped up at the 13. Matt has missed the last 3 games, sprained knee. Jeremy Langford has done good work supplanting him and figures to see some action tonight. But through the years, Forte has just been steady and solid and a workhorse, and kind of overlooked. Last year he set a record most receptions by a running back in the history of the NFL with 102. 3rd down and 7. Halfway mark of the opening quarter. Cutler forced out, just has to dump it outside the tackle box. He had Quentin Rollins coming in on a corner blitz. So Chicago gets backed up, can't move, and it's 4th down and 7, and Green Bay should get the ball in pretty good shape after the punt.
Quentin Rollins going to come right off the edge here, and really no chance for Jay Cutler, just a clean sprint. He just had to get rid of the ball. It's one thing you will say about Jay Cutler under Adam Gase, his new offensive coordinator, is you don't see him making as many crazy throws. His interception numbers way down this year.
Patrick O'Donnell ready to send it down toward Randall Cobb. Fair catch called for, but then he lets it go. And McManus downs the ball just across the 50-yard line. 7:04 to go in the opening quarter on Thanksgiving night in Packerland. Well, these two guys have been matching up since Cutler came to Chicago in 2009, 12th regular season meeting between them. And, of course, the upper hand belongs to Rodgers and Green Bay. There is your statistical evidence right there. As the Packers, through the decade, have really totally dominated the Bears.
Yeah, we saw it last year firsthand. 69 unanswered points at one time in the 2 games between these two teams. It was ugly fast last year in a 55-14 win for the Packers, but at least so far, the Packers' mistakes have kept the Bears in it.
Well, 55-14, it was only 42-0 at the half on Sunday Night Football, as we recall.
But it was exciting.
Oh, yeah, tremendous. From the 49-yard line, Lacey picks up about 3 yards as he gets taken down by Eddie Goldman, a rookie out of Florida State, who was their 2nd-round draft pick.
Yeah, that's the big question mark, I think, on the Chicago Bears defense. They weren't good last year. They bring in Vic Fangio and hoping for better. They just don't have the horses up front that they need.
2nd down and 7, and it's fired over the middle and caught. Randall Cobb got free, found the open spot. 1st down at the 33-yard line.
One of the guys to watch here is J.C. Tretter, who's working there against Eddie Goldman, doing a nice job. Tretter is a guy that at one time was a quarterback, also a tight end. They use him in that way some still with the Packers. Got his chance when Corey Linsley got hurt. Really did a nice job last week. Very quick, athletic guy as a center.
Rogers, line does a job, a little dump pass. There's Lacy. And he's taken down at the 30. You know, you're talking about that Bear defense, Chris, and you know, through the years, I mean, that's been the hallmark of the Bears as you look at it again. The center going up against Goldman. But you look at this defense right now and you say, all right, who plays defense for the Chicago Bears? Name somebody.
Yeah, you know, Shea McClellan, probably one of their good outside guys, got moved to inside linebacker just because they didn't have anybody. And Vic Fangio said, got to find somebody to play in there.
2nd and 7, and that pass is intercepted. It's Tracy Porter. He says, I'll give you a guy to name. Tracy Porter, but now you got a flag down at the 15-yard line. Hockley will discuss this
the problem
with his crew.
The officials are going to name him too.
So Porter, at least for the moment, with the pick, pending the call in an area where you normally see a hold.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense number 21. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So erase it. Here it is.
Anytime you get the out and up kind of move right here, and then they go up the field, that is a mild. I think Tracy Porter says, "Come on, man! I've been in the league a long time. Did you not see me in the Super Bowl?" That was
ticky-tack.
That was a good break for the Packers. Let's put it that way.
So at the 25-yard line now, they keep the drive going with 5.5 to go in the first. Rogers is 6 of his first 10, but for only 27 yards. And swings it to the outside, and Lacy gets buried. Then the pass is incomplete. Jonathan Anderson, who's been all over the field, a rookie at a TCU, undrafted free agent.
One more time, back to the penalty. It was a big one. Out and up. A little adjustment off of that, but not one you would typically expect.
2nd down and 10. And busting through, and Lacy takes the pass, and Eddie Lacy is inside the 10 and all the way to the end zone. Bruce Gaston almost got there, but Rogers is able to flip it to his running back for a 25-yard touchdown.
TJ Lang's just going to hang for a minute and go, and you're going to get really quick pressure here from Bruce Gaston, who is claimed off the practice squad of the Packers. Eddie Lacy lets him go, and when that tank starts running down the field this time of year, nobody's looking to stand in line.
You know, the officials are conferring. That's almost as if he flipped the ball away before he crossed the goal line. And Hockley got together with a couple of the guys to talk about this. There was no flag.
Just remember that just the front tip.
We will review the ruling on the field that it was a touchdown.
They sure will. Did he cross the goal line with the football? Hockley under the hood.
The ruling on the field stands as called. Touchdown.
It was very close. And since the ruling on the field was a touchdown, there was nothing that we saw in any of the replays to mitigate against it.
Remember, just the front tip of the ball has to touch the very front edge of that line to be good, and there just wasn't enough to overturn it there.
Mason Crosby for the extra point. And the Green Bay Packers on that drive. 5 plays, 49 yards, 1 rush, and 4 passes. Lacy into the end zone, and the Lambeau lead, 7-zip. Oh, normally we turn up the Tonight Show for the next night, but it's Thanksgiving night. It's Thursday night, so Jimmy's on tonight. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. You'll see it.
The Blues Brothers.
Later tonight.
Why not?
In town. Everybody's in town.
This town is excited, though, aren't they? They cannot wait for this Brett Favre celebration at halftime tonight.
Out in force. Raining, swirling winds. Mason Crosby to kick off. Deontay Thompson is back there, and there's confusion there, and Thompson will he's going to try to come out of the end zone.
That is a brilliant play right there.
Almost not so smart, as he almost tried to come out of the end zone, thought about it, and then realized that he could take a knee in there.
It was the kick itself, the impetus of the kick that drove it back into the end zone. That's Mark Mariani who misses it. And then Deontay Thompson goes back and understands the rules well enough that is not a safety if he takes a knee.
It is not a safety.
What a brilliant play by Deontay Thompson.
Just for a second, right there, he's thinking,
you know, I knew the rule, but even I was like, that would be really hard to take a knee in that situation.
Now what? Right.
That was tremendous.
Well, you know, you don't want to align like that on a kickoff return. First of all, you don't see that many kickoffs run back anymore with a touchback 2/3 of the time. But you had both guys back there. Now you got Jeremy Langford in the game. Our first opportunity to see him tonight, and Cutler gets pressed, and the ball is thrown and incomplete. Hockley gets bounded into. Julius Peppers put the heat on. Let's take a look at that Green Bay defense.
Detroit Guyan, Bradford High School Tornadoes.
B.J. Raji, Boston College. Mike Daniels, Iowa.
Mike Neal, Purdue University.
Nate Palmer, Illinois State University. Clay Matthews, USC.
Julius Peppers, North Carolina.
Demary Vandal, Arizona State.
Morgan Burnett, Georgia Tech.
Clint Dix, the University of Alabama.
Sam Shields, the U.
Matthews and Peppers, the big stars. Burnett runs the secondary extremely well, and this is Langford, 4th-round draft choice out of Michigan State. He followed Le'Veon Bell in East Lansing, and he's the guy who's come in over the last 3 weeks and did a really nice job instead of the injured Matt Forte. You know, could be the transition beginning here. Matt's been around a while, getting up there, and Langford could be the guy of the future.
Had a huge day against the Rams, including an 83-yard touchdown on a screen pass.
3rd down and 5. With 4.5 to go in the quarter. Play clock at 2. Again, pressure. Cutler rolls away, then throws, and it's almost intercepted. Miller was the intended receiver, and Quentin Rollins breaks it up, and it's a quick 3 and out.
Same blitz coming right after Cutler one more time. Tries to get this thing down to Zach Miller, who's become a bit of his go-to guy, but Quentin Rollins, a former basketball player, almost had him one there. But Jay Cutler has been on the move. Every time they've gotten into a 3rd and medium or long, Dom Capers has brought a blitz, and the Bears have had no answer.
O'Donnell now already his 3rd punt of the game. Randall Cobb back for Green Bay. Cobb's going to let it bounce. And short kick. Will be down to the 38-yard line. Cobb saying, let it go. So they'll take over the 38 after a 37-yard punt. Madden Thanksgiving player or players of the game. Who's going to get that fresh turkey? Look at some of the guys that have won it over the past 3 years. Last year, it was Seattle beating the 49ers. And you saw Sherman and Wilson dining out.
I don't think anybody enjoyed it more than Vince Wilfork, though.
Right.
Vince was happy. You know, 3 hours, no food. I'm sure for Vince, that's plenty long enough.
Richard Sherman had a pretty good time with the turkey leg last year in San Francisco. Carried it off the field like the Lombardi Trophy. From the 38-yard line. Rodgers dancing around the pocket, buying time, as he does so supremely well, and it's caught there by Cobb. Callahan makes the tackle after a short gain. And Jonathan Anderson, he's been all over the place. 58, that rookie out of TCU, called his name 4 or 5 times already, put the heat on Rodgers.
It's just amazing to watch Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. It looks like, did you ever play, like, you know, dodgeball or tag when you were a kid? I mean, he just looks like all he's trying to do is keep anybody from getting a finger on him. Yet his eyes are downfield the whole time, but he's looking for that escape route. So many of the big plays in that big game against the Vikings came from him escaping and making big throws down the field.
And there's Ringalivio, but you guys didn't play that in Florida. Second down and 3 from the 45-yard line. That's Cobb in the backfield. Play action buys all kinds of time.
Oops.
And going down, then the ball comes loose, but they're going to say he was down there. That's Lamar Houston, the linebacker, at the 34-yard line. Great coverage by Chicago.
Yeah, he got tagged on that one. If he's playing tag, he just got tagged by Lamar Houston. Coverage all over the field. Really an opportunity maybe there, but that was about it. Nothing else really to speak of.
That's a 10-yard sack.
I tell you, he has taken some shots now the last 4 games. There's just no question about that. And had that shoulder issue, some of his percentage went way down over the last 4 games. There were some real concerns here about the way this offense was playing.
They're down at 13. Play clock ran all the way down.
It's a 30-second timeout.
So timeout taken here. Well, in the wild and crazy National Football League, Detroit 1-7. Now they've won 3 in a row up in Philadelphia today.
You know, there's some big issues there. Detroit, give them credit, though. They're back to playing defense the way that they did a season ago, so that was great. And we have great fun here tonight. Brett Favre coming in here for the second half. I can't imagine what Brett's going to be like in the booth. He'll come off the field, come up here, and I hope tell a few of the stories that I've heard over the years in production meetings. Brett's one of those guys, when he gets in a production meeting and he starts talking to us, you just put the pen down.
Right.
You just kick back in your chair because you know it's story time. You know you're going to have some fun. And he certainly has entertained the people of Green Bay for a long, long time around here.
We can go take a break and just let Brett have the mic.
Down. Eat a little chicken a little longer tonight.
The other game today, of course, Carolina. How about the Panthers at 11-0? Beating Dallas handily. Rodgers now throws, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for James Jones, and a little skirmish breaks out. Lamar Houston in the middle of that. And Brian Bulaga will get in his 2 cents or more. TJ Lang as well. And after all that, it's 4th down. Tim Mastay to punt, and you got Mark Mariani ready to return it. And Mariani will field it, escape a tackle to the 26-yard line, but there is a flag, and the flag is all the way back up where the punt took place, near the line of scrimmage. Not on the run back, so we'll get the call from Ed Hockley, who does enjoy making a few calls.
Those were no boos. That was John Kuhn that made the tackle, and he certainly is one of the favorites here. Well, Aaron Rodgers was excited that he got the most number of snaps he's had this season, and thought he made a huge difference in that game against Minnesota.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 34. That 10-yard penalty is enforced from where the punt was caught. 1st down.
That's 5 penalties already on Chicago and none against Green Bay. Since the 2010 NFC Championship game, the Bears 35-39, and the Packers, meanwhile, 53-20-1, and the Packers went on to win the Super Bowl that year. Remaining players, 15 were Green Bay, and only 3, just 3 guys remain with the Bears from that team. They would be Cutler, Forte, and the kicker, Robbie Gould.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, is there, that John Fox and company have decided that they're going to redo this roster. They're going to rebuild it and start with the defense, I'm sure. There are some things that just do not sit well, and the Bears not having a good defense is one of those things. You do not accept that in Chicago.
So they brought Fox in. They brought Ryan Pace in to be the GM. Mark Trestman and Phil Emery, the GM, gone after a couple of seasons, so a whole transition going on in the Windy City as Matt Forte brings it out to the 23-yard line. The Bears have now run 10 plays, so they've had 3 3-and-outs. 2nd down.
I think one of the good stories from the Chicago Bears, that guy right there, Kyle Long, who was a Pro Bowl guard in back-to-back years. And he was asked by this coaching staff to play tackle. And he was asked right before the start of the regular season, and it was against these Green Bay Packers. And he hemmed and hawed a little bit, and he's finally said, if it's good for the team, it's good for me, and he did it. And now he's turned into a really good right tackle.
And Cutler fires to Alshon Jeffrey, who makes the catch for Chicago's first down of the night.
Yeah, there's no question that for Kyle Long, he struggled early in the season. He didn't know what he was doing out there at right tackle. But you watch him now, and his form isn't exactly perfect. He's work on his kick step a little bit, I'm sure, as we go into next season. But athletically, he can play with anybody. He can catch any pass rusher around the edge, and really a different guy since he played in that opener against the Packers.
Bloodlines aren't bad.
Yeah.
He's Howie's pup. Gain of a couple here by Forte. We go to Michelle.
Well, Al, I talked with Kyle Long about moving to right tackle this season, and he said it's a different heavyweight fight every week. I faced the firing squad the first 3 weeks, quite a welcoming party. Week 1, that meant Julius Peppers, whom he respects tremendously. Al Long told me there are not a lot of guys I grew up watching that I'm a fan of. He is a big fan of Julius Peppers, Al.
Oh, yeah, Julius Peppers, 14 years in the league and a Chicago Bear for 4 years after 8 in Carolina. Played there with John Fox. Now in his second here, Forte out to the 41-yard line where Burnett makes the tackle. 3rd down and 4, and that should take us into the second frame. End of the first quarter at Lambeau Field on this Thanksgiving night with the score Green Bay 7 and Chicago 0. And Thanksgiving night football continues after these messages.
Waiting all day for Thanksgiving night.
And tonight's Skycam coverage from Lambeau Field being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya. Happy Thanksgiving. 7-0 Green Bay. Starting the second quarter, Chicago has a 3rd down and 4 at its own 41-yard line.
Clay Matthews now off the edge instead of his inside linebacker position. Right up there, they played him there quite a bit in that game against the Vikings.
And Cutler fires and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. Coverage is good, 4th down.
And here comes Clay with a little spin move inside against Charles Leno, and maybe got Cutler's attention just a bit. It's amazing. Talking about guys who made sacrifices for the good of the team. Clay Matthews was not thrilled with the idea of moving inside, but he knew he had to do it. Boy, is he doing it well now.
Really shored up the defense coming down the stretch last year for Dom Capers. Patrick O'Donnell's punt.
Whoops.
Oh, and Cobb drops it, picks it up at the 19-yard line. That went swirling around, gusting up to about 18 miles an hour, steady at about 14 miles an hour, and wreaking havoc with the punch tonight.
Yeah, it is rough. I mean, it's rough, period, trying to catch punts when it's windy conditions. You add in the rain, and it's just uncomfortable. You look up and raindrops hitting your eyes and you get blurry-eyed, and then the thing starts swirling around up there, and it's a tough night for catching anything out here.
But the Packer fans, you don't see any empty seats here.
You know, as it should be on Brett Favre night, right? Brett showed up every single game. He never missed a start. And neither do these fans. It doesn't matter what kind of weather they get.
Only 297 in a row. From the 19-yard line, 1st down for the Packers. And Lacy. He picks up 2 yards. 2nd and 8 from the 21.
Yeah, the guys inside really are the key to this Green Bay Packers offense. TJ Lang, Josh Sitton, 2 guys that have just been knocking around here. These 2 guards right there have been doing it for a long time, and TJ Lang actually may be having the best year of any of these offensive linemen.
And Lacy again puts his head down and comes up about 1.5 yards short of the 1st down. 3rd down and that much in the first minute of the second quarter.
Yeah, there was a little controversy around here about whether or not Mike McCarthy should go back to calling the plays again. He was a little more involved in the offensive meeting room last week, and it paid off.
Lacey, and he's going to get stopped. He handed the play calling duties over to Tom Clements. Pernell McPhee just made that stop. They look over to the chains, and they appear to be just a little short of the first down.
Well, Pernell McPhee, who's probably the best player on this Bears defense, unblocked, just beat him around the corner. Nobody's going to block him. They don't think he's going to get there on this running play up the gut. And he made the play short of the first down.
Well, for the moment, the Packer offense is going to stay out there. They did go for it. Now they're going to send the punt group in. So maybe if nothing else, Rodgers would try to get them to jump offside. But John Fox says, I've seen that act before.
Yeah, and John Fox is saying, defense, you guys just stay out there. Forget the punt return. You just stay out there and play defense.
Mariani back to receive the punt. This is Mastey's third punt of the night. It's a low line drive that Mariani will collect at the 28-yard line and bring back to the 35-yard line. 12:53 left in the opening half on Thanksgiving night, 7-0 Packers.
I can go mental toughness. I can go physical toughness. I mean, the guy was a tough guy.
It was something to see him go out there and play with sometimes when you thought he was no way he was going to play the game, but he did.
Did everything in his power through the week, even though he may have been severely injured, to make sure that he was always in the huddle. He was always running out of the tunnel. He had to play the game. He was obsessed with that.
He was indestructible.
He was. It was almost like it was going to kill him if he had to sit one out. There were a couple times during that stretch that you definitely thought there's no way he's playing next week.
For sure. From the 34-yard line, this drive begins on the ground. Jeremy Langford, the rookie, for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, and one of the problems that this Bears offense and the running game is having right now is they have not been successful at all throwing the football, and so the slot corners are coming off the edge and unblocked making plays. They have to hit a pass at some point. Alshon Jeffrey's back, and we haven't seen anything at all to him.
He's been targeted once. Cutler is 2 of 7. Langford around the outside. Spilled at the 42-yard line by Clay Matthews.
Now, sometimes it just looks like Clay Matthews is going at a different speed. He's going to play off the block of Hroniss Grasu and still beat the running back to the spot there. He really, last year when he first started playing inside linebacker, I thought, yeah, he's okay, he's doing all right, and he's doing the best he can. Now you look at him, and he looks like an all-pro inside linebacker. He looks like a Kuechly or something. Excellent coverage, great blitzer, obviously. Good player.
Third down and 2. Matthews in coverage this time, and that's simply dropped by Langford. So again, wet ball, whatever, on target, misses here. Cutler is now 2 out of 8.
He's going to completely fool Clay Matthews this time. He's going to try and jump over the pick right there, jumps back inside. A brilliant play call that time by Adam Gase. Worked perfectly, and you just can't catch the ball.
Bears with only 1 first down, again minus their number 1 receiver, Martellus Bennett, the tight end. Been a punting duel to this point. This will be the 8th punt of the game, and O'Donnell's 5th. And that baby will bounce at the 11-yard line, be down at about the 12. 11 and a half left in the opening half, with the Green Bay Packers leading the Bears 7-7. Well, there she is, the matriarch of the Chicago Bears, Virginia McCaskey, daughter of George Halas, founder of the team, and Dad coached this team over a 40-year period. He had 4 10-year runs, and of course ran it when he wasn't coaching the team, and it's been in the Halas family all these years, almost a century now.
Well, I love the coaching staff they put together here, though. Only the most unusual circumstances would have allowed John Fox and Adam Gase and Vic Fangio to come together to one team as a free agent.
Well, here's Lacey, and he gets tripped up at the 12-yard line, and one of the reasons was John Elway felt he just had to make a change in Denver. Fox won 4 championships or 4 division titles, went to a Super Bowl, but just felt that needed to make a change to get him over the hump.
And Fangio was a part of one of the really great defenses out in San Francisco, and Harbaugh ends up going to Michigan, and all of a sudden he's free.
Second down and 10 now from the 12-yard line.
319! 319!
Lacey with a big hole and exploits that. Ball is loose at the 33-yard line. The Bears are around it, and Chicago certain they've recovered, and it is confirmed. So Lacey was off and running. Big run there for 18 yards, and then he coughs it up. So a turnover here, and they're still fighting for it at the bottom of the pile, but they've already signaled that Chicago has the ball.
Well, a lot of conversation about the safeties of the Bears. Well, they combined that time to get that ball out. Adrian Amos, who is a really good young player, and then Chris Brzezinski comes in behind and strips the ball out, so the 2 safeties come up big.
Brzezinski gets the forced fumble, and then Chicago recovers it as they unpile, and that's Lamar Houston who recovers it. And as Eddie Lacy saw that 18-yard run end in a turnover.
Well, you take away the pass interference call in this game by Tracy Porter that set up the touchdown, and there's not a whole lot of offense happening anywhere. So the Bears catch a huge break and have a chance. They just have to take advantage of it now. They have to get something going here.
So you looked at Lacy and his fumbling history. The ball is at the 34-yard line to the outside. Wilson takes the ball to the 31-yard line. Brzezinski forcing the fumble. He's taking the spot of another injured Bear, Antrell Roll, at one safety spot.
Jay Cutler talking about Marquise Wilson. They really feel like that young man. He's 6'4", had 100 yards receiving in the game last week. They think he could be just about anything. Another big receiver on the outside to go along with Alshon Jeffrey.
2nd and 7. And Forte to the 28. We've played 20 minutes of football, and Chicago has 1 first down.
Well, one of the best guys on the Packers is Mike Daniels right down there, and how long working on him. That's going to be a heck of a battle if he ends up staying on that side. But now it's 3rd down, and here's where the Bears have faltered all night long. Watch for the blitz. That's where they've been hurt.
Bears 0 for 5 on 3rd down. 3rd and 4 here.
Quentin Long's lurking around.
Cutler under pressure, gets it away, and it's caught at the 18-yard line. Mark Mariani comes over the middle. Demarius Randall, the rookie corner, came in, almost got the sack. Chicago gets its 2nd first down.
They came with the blitz again, only this time it's a cornerback, Demarius Randall, and somehow Cutler escapes that and picks up the 1st down. Jay Cutler has a way. He's pretty elusive. He moves well. He's not afraid to run. He usually dives head first when he does. He wants to win.
Forte. And he gains 6 yards as he gets tackled at the 12-yard line. Make it 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3. There's Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and you know, the Bears had success in that opener running the football against the Green Bay Packers, and I think Adam Gase, with the conditions as they are, would like to stay with that run game, but occasionally you have to complete a pass or they're going to see nothing but blitzes.
And floats one to the end zone. No. Couldn't stay in. Alshon Jeffrey fading. Demarius Randall right there with him. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I thought he caught it, but I'm not sure he ever got his left foot on the ground. Let's take a look. Catches it.
Yeah, that is some catch, but he couldn't stay in. Clearly out.
You kind of like to have a guy that size with an opportunity to jump ball one. Time he had to lay out.
3rd and 3, and then a low throw, and fighting his way is Mariani. Looked like he'd be stopped short of the first down, but he's able to burrow his way to the 8-yard line and make it a 1st down and goal.
Big play by Mariani. He is filling in, getting opportunities. Eddie Royal out of this game. They've had a lot of injuries. A lot of these young receivers getting opportunities to play. Marquise Wilson, Joshua Bellamy. That was big.
1st down and goal. 7.5 to go in the half. Forte takes it to the 3-yard line. Matt Ethier out of Tulane, picked him in the 2nd round in 08. Yeoman worked through his career.
Yeah, I think one of the guys you want to try and run the football towards in this defense is Nate Palmer, number 51. They had success in that first game, and they have been attacking that side when given an opportunity.
Bears trying to cash in on the turnover after the Lacey fumble.
Clay Matthews back on the end of the line of scrimmage again.
Give it to Forte, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, setting up another 3rd down, 3rd and goal. Jaron Elliott, 91, makes the hit.
A lot of these guys on this defensive line for the Packers have the ability to play multiple positions inside and outside, but in a game in the slop in these kinds of conditions, this 3rd down could end up huge.
Third and 1 with the crowd roaring at Lambeau. Play clock at 2. Cutler started to slip, but then gets it away, and wide open for the touchdown is Zach Miller, the tight end. Looked like Cutler was going to go down, started to slip and slide. Elliott came in, and the touchdown with the extra point to tie the game here.
Well, first of all, you're going to get him all the way across the formation. You sort of read releases here. Somebody has to pick him up as he comes across the field. Nate Palmer was the guy inside. Not sure if it was his assignment or not. But it was another escape by Jay Cutler, a couple on that drive that really made the difference. And for Zach Miller now, that is 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games.
They got the ball at the 34 after the fumble. Took them 9 plays with 4 runs and 5 passes, and Robbie Gould to try to tie the game. Which he does with 6:03 left in the half on Thanksgiving night. Lacey gives it back, and then Cutler able to take him in. Miller for the 6. Game is tied at 7. Tomorrow, part of your holiday weekend, Black Friday, great hockey game coming your way on NBC as the New York Rangers take on the Boston Bruins. All starts tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Doc Emmerich will be on the call, the great Doc, who, believe it or not, did a football game years ago, and he announced Brett Favre's first ever completion in the NFL, which was to
himself.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yep. Kick fielded at the 4-yard line by Jeff Janis. And Janis with a 70-yard run back last week in Minnesota almost duplicates the feat. In fact, comes real close to doing exactly that as he takes it all the way to the 33-yard line. 64 yards for Janis.
Well, Jeff Janis is going to get hit early on in this return. I mean, just squared up hit right there, and you think there's no way that he's going to escape that. Bryce Callahan just flat out missed him. This kid has been waiting so long to get on the field. You know, it's not easy to get on the field when you're talking about with Aaron Rodgers, because you have to know all the signals and you have to know all the things that he wants to do and the glances and the looks, and you're supposed to know what that means. But man, he has proven himself now as a kick returner.
Yeah, twice in a row now, plus he induced a 50-yard pass interference penalty last week. in Minnesota as well. Now you got Starks, big hole, and Starks has enough for a first down.
There's some fresh legs, and sometimes running backs, it can be a little bit like a sibling rivalry, right? One guy has a big day. It was Eddie Lacy's turn last week, and he had a huge day. Now you come out in a fumble, and you go sit on the sideline, and your brother gets a shot.
So Lacy had 72 yards on 10 carries. Starks has now carried twice for 13.
Push, push, push.
Green Bay with a total of 90 rushing yards in the half. Starks looking for room. To the 16-yard line he goes. Lamar Houston makes the tackle with 5 minutes to go in the half.
One of the things I noticed watching some of the tape of the Chicago Bears is sometimes these linebackers don't come up fast. And watch Tretter get down there, that they tend to sort of see it and then react to it. And you just wonder whether or not this isn't the perfect game for a very athletic center in J.C. Tretter and his ability to get down to that second level.
319. 319.
This is 2nd and 3 play. A little dump off Starks. First down and a 1st and goal to the 5-yard line. Tracy Porter makes the stop there.
Just not sure if that wasn't Shea McClellan that was supposed to pick that up. It looked like man coverage, people chasing people everywhere, and McClellan was the only one left in the middle of the field with nobody that he was chasing.
From the 6, 1st and goal.
Strap out, scoop out. There you go, strap. Scoop out. Easy. Yeah. 319. 319.
Starks again. Yard or so. Houston in on the stop. Clock ticking down with 3:40 left in the half.
I haven't heard anything at all tonight from James Jones, and what a monster year that he's had this season. A career high 11 catches of 25 or more yards, and so many times when you get down to the goal line or scramble situations, seems like Aaron Rodgers finds him.
As he did, and what a grab he made for a touchdown in Minnesota last Sunday. To the outside, that is caught and then slung down. Randall Cobb, flag is down. That is Callahan, who for the moment is able to save a certain touchdown.
There was a lot of contact down there. James Jones came inside and set it up for Cobb to go outside, but I don't know that anything.
Well, Barrister Hockley having a sidebar here, conference.
Pass interference offense, number 89. There was a pick. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Just talking about Jones, who has a word with Hockley.
Comes down inside. And, you know, the bizarre, I don't think that's pass interference, though. I just don't. Because the guy he's trying to pick is the guy coming over the top. He just wanted that guy to go over the top of it. He wasn't picking. That's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Pick, rub, screen, you tell me.
You know, I mean, they're trying hard to get that right, but that one was wrong.
So 2nd down and goal now from the 14-yard line. Little flip, Starks, and he gets tackled at the 5-yard line. Prosinski makes the stop there. 3rd down and goal.
Boy, it is no fun to play back here when all these linemen start coming down at you. This one looked like it might be a score. That was a heck of a play by Chris Prosinski, who is filling in for Antrell Roll, but he has made a couple of big plays already in this one.
3rd and goal, 3 receivers set to the left. And Rodgers dancing and darting and finding nobody. Cobb nearest to it. Callahan doing a real nice job. Rookie free agent out of Rice, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, let's give the young man some credit here on the back of the end zone. That is Bryce Callahan, who is taking over as a slot corner, undrafted. Top end was Tracy Porter, who was all over that one. Devontae Adams having no luck with Kyle Fuller either. So as long as Aaron Rodgers was able to dance around, there still wasn't anybody open.
Now a 22-yard field goal attempt to give Green Bay the lead. Easy one from Mason Crosby to bang it through, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning with the Green Bay Packers up on top, 10-7 at Lambeau Field. All right, nobody's going to the concession stands at halftime here. Toyota halftime coming up. Brad Favre back in Lambeau to have number 4 retired, and that's what we'll have for you coming up on the Toyota halftime.
It wasn't an easy separation, though, was it?
It was not.
You know, and Aaron Rodgers sort of took the brunt of some of it. Some fans didn't want to see him ever go, and then all of a sudden he went to the Jets for a while and back to the arch rival Minnesota, and there were, you know, some little mixed emotions, but now time heals all wounds, and this place is going to go absolutely crazy when he walks out on that field.
Yeah, it was a messy departure, but too many good years not to have a 21-gun salute for that man at halftime. 5-yard line. Thompson will run it back, and Deontay Thompson will take the ball to almost midfield. So Chicago set up in good field position with 1:51 to the half. NFL Play 60. It's the NFL's movement for a more active generation, encouraging fans to get moving. Play for 60 minutes every day. You can download today or go to NFLrush.com. Learn more. Chicago has all of its timeouts. They start at the 42-yard line. Cutler out of the pistol, the play fake, and then the inside throw to Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey close to a first down across the 50-yard line. Casey Hayward makes the tackle.
Yeah, it's a really smart play and smart play call. Alshon Jeffrey has not been a factor early in this game. Get his hands on the ball and get him into the flow of the game.
2nd and 1. Cutler's going to take it himself and sneak over right guard to the 45-yard line.
And the Bears have all 3 timeouts. They have plenty of time. They are in no big hurry here and can run whatever they want to do. They want to run the football, no problem at all.
And leave no time on the clock on the other side for Rodgers at the end of the half. Langford is the back. 1 minute to play in the half. And that pass is incomplete. Jeffrey had to stop, reach back for it, couldn't hold on. Shields covers. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, perfect throw that time by Jay Cutler. This is, you just can't do it any better than this, and Jeffrey just unable to hang on to the wet football. Sam Shields, for being a guy that probably gives up about 6 or 7 inches to Alshon Jeffrey, has had pretty good success over the years against him.
Take the snap out of the pistol again. Here comes the blitz from the corner, and coming the other way now Langford, and Langford for a first down takes it all the way to the 31-yard line where Morgan Burnett is there. So they blitz from the right corner, the right defensive corner, go the other way with the run, stop the clock with 46 seconds. So this Sunday Night Football on Thanksgiving night being brought to you by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. By Toyota, let's go places. By Nike, gear up at Nike.com and get out here. And by Star Wars, The Force Awakens, in theaters everywhere, December the 18th. Our great crew, the guys and gals that are with us all season long. Around the country we go and spending Thanksgiving with our gang. Thank you, folks. You are fantastic.
They all insist on it being perfect, don't they? This is a hard-working group who will be here long after we are out of here and heading for Denver.
And on a night like tonight, you really appreciate them. 31-yard line. Chicago just took its first timeout. First down at the 31 as Cutler has time. throws, and that's caught. That's a first down. Alshon Jeffrey makes the catch. A gain of 11, covered by Randall.
Little different result out here with Kyle Long this time against Julius Peppers. It was a rough night for Kyle the first go around, but now he is settling in, and Jay Cutler is as well, and Alshon Jeffrey is as well. This team really had nothing going early in this one. And now starting to get on a little bit of a roll.
.40 Four-man rush with protection. That's caught inside the 10-yard line, and Wilson will take the ball to the end zone for the touchdown. Marquise Wilson able to take the ball in a 20-yard reception, and the Chicago Bears have taken the lead.
Against a really good young corner, Demarius Randall. Watch what he does. He's going to force the inside, make him believe he's going in there, and make Randall just flinch, and then fight his way into the end zone.
Maybe.
No, I don't think so. Knees down just short, isn't it?
Right. Well, that was ruled a touchdown, which means a scoring play, which means automatically reviewed in New York.
Review the ruling of touchdown on the field.
So hold your horses here. It figures to be a first and goal when we come back. Looks like his knee is down. They're reviewing it. We suspect that when Hockley makes his next announcement, it's going to be a first and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
It's fun to watch good young players coming out of the 7th round from a year ago, but you can see that knee down right there, short of the goal line clearly.
Joe Thomas was there to make the tackle, number 48. The clock will start to run on first and goal. So Chicago will still have 2 timeouts if they want to stop the clock. Going over things now with John Fox.
The ruling is the ball is down at the 1-yard line. At the 1-yard line.
So the call will get reversed. It will wind the clock unless Chicago wants to take its timeout right here.
Chicago is calling timeout.
Okay, there they go.
It would normally be a 10-second runoff as a result of replay rules. Chicago is using their second timeout to prevent a runoff.
So a little recap of Thanksgiving night. Eddie Lacy off to the start. He almost gave up the ball before he crossed the goal line, but it counted. But then the fumble after he had gained 18 yards set Chicago up for the opportunity to tie the game on a touchdown pass to Zach Miller. Jeff Janis sets Green Bay up to take the lead again with a 64-yard kickoff return. Crosby culminates that drive with a 22-yard field goal, but now Cutler trying to give Chicago the lead at halftime, or at least shortly before halftime. First down goal. Jeremy Langford is the running back here.
And the Bears had to take that timeout, or there would have been a 10-second runoff because the clock was moving at the point of the challenge, and that's the way the rules are there.
Put in the big horse Unrein as the fullback. Miller goes in motion. Langford following Unrein, and he's able to get into the end zone. So the Chicago Bears now officially have the lead. There's a lot of leverage. Unrein at 306 pounds, a defensive lineman leading the way.
Did you see that, Al? He got 2. He's going to come up and get the first one and then go get the second one. I think that's Clay Matthews. He hits first, sort of gets rid of him, and then goes up and gets that second block. How good is that for a defensive lineman? That's tremendous.
2 for 1 for Unrein. They like to use him in those short yardage situations. And now the extra point by Robbie Gould will make it a 4-point lead.
This Bears offense that was doing nothing is taken off at the end of the half. Wow.
Wow, what was that? Screwball. Not pretty, but it counts. Chicago 14, Green Bay 10.
What is it like catching a far fastball? 7 fingers dislocated. It's pretty bad.
Guys got injured catching the ball if you didn't catch it properly.
No more rocket balls, please.
Somewhere in his locker, he had a chart of all the guys and how many fingers he broke of theirs.
Nolan Ryan of quarterbacks.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they love Brett, and they're going to love him even more when he comes out onto the field in just a few minutes. There's a bouncing ball that gets collected by John Kuhn at the 29-yard line.
Brett was always playful, whether you were a broadcaster or a player. If you were sort of had your back turned, not paying attention, all of a sudden the fastball would come whistling by your ear out there. It was always fun. Not so much fun tonight for Aaron Rodgers, though. This is a little bit of a stunning result as this thing began, and what we've seen over the past bit between these two teams, for the Bears to come back and make the kind of plays they have and lead this thing right now, surprising.
Well, he has 2 timeouts. The kick was probably not as deep as Chicago would have liked, because Rodgers, with a couple of first downs, will be close to or in field goal range. And he starts here with a first down, and that is caught by Richard Rodgers. Clock is stopped at 19 seconds as Green Bay uses its second timeout. So the line of scrimmage will be the 45-yard line as Mason Crosby warms up for a hopeful field goal attempt.
And he certainly has the range. We saw that last week with all those kicks that he made. 5 of them, 40-plus yards a week ago, and nobody had ever done that in the history of the NFL. That's how amazing that day was. And, of course, that was right on top of the sort of shanked one he had with a chance to win the game the week before.
It's Detroit, long field goal, and they lost to the Lions here for the first time in about 4 centuries. So at the 45-yard line, Rodgers trying to, if he can, collect about 20 or so yards. And they have to use that last timeout at some point. Get Crosby in the game. And Chicago with the stunt up front, but Rodgers is able to throw, and that's incomplete to the 40-yard line. Tracy Porter draping James Jones. 14 seconds now remaining. Second down.
Well, we just have not seen James Jones with any success, and I tell you, this is just very casually played on the outside by Tracy Porter. Beautifully done.
Jones in that opening game in Chicago in September had a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and Porter did not play in that opening game either. He was hurt for the first couple, if I remember correctly.
Rodgers fires over the middle. Cobb makes the catch, and they're going to use their final timeout and at least have an opportunity to shave that lead here, as the ball is spotted at the 32, 23-yard gain. And with a timeout here, Crosby will have an opportunity to kick about a 50-yard field goal.
Working against the rookie Bryce Callahan here. Watch the shake and bake at the top end of this thing before he breaks. And Callahan's going to slip down.
So Rodgers comes to the sideline. They could attempt one play, but you're right on the edge here. They're going to put, I think, 1 second back on the clock. Is that what they're doing? Making it 8 instead of 7. So the flags right now are relatively limp. We're showing the wind for the moment at 5 miles an hour, but it's been gusting throughout. So it's in his face a little. So what do you do here now? Do you want to go to the end zone, or you go outside, I think?
You want to be careful.
Very careful. You don't want to sack number 1. They're out of timeouts.
Timeout Chicago. That's their third and final timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
Now, they could have taken that 10-second runoff and they wouldn't have had this issue, right?
Yeah.
And but who knows? That's always a tough call on the other sideline. You certainly don't want to give up the opportunity to score a touchdown, but that 10-second runoff, if it had been applied and they had not taken the timeout, we would have been out of here.
Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, you don't know.
Who knows?
Well, I tell you, this is just an interesting play call, isn't it?
Interesting and dangerous too. Because,
it is.
I mean,
obviously, no sack.
Right. If you complete the pass in the field of play, you're done.
Yeah, I think this one will be very safe if he gets exactly what he likes, which now it looks like he might. He might get a little quick out at top or bottom, but be careful. Remember what Tracy Porter has done in his history. He might jump one of these.
Receiver's got to get out of bounds. I mean, it's real simple here.
Which he did. He was going to jump that one. That was a good read by Aaron Rodgers to not go there. Tracy Porter was sitting right out there, and if he had cut to the out, he was not backpedaling. He was not doing anything. He's going to sit, and he was waiting for one of those opportunities. Good read by Aaron.
This will set up a 50-yard attempt to end the half as Mason Crosby will try to make this a one-point game. He's really dived down, and the kick by Crosby is good. And that takes us to halftime, where the Chicago Bears leading the Green Bay Packers 14-13, and you know what's coming up next. Brett Favre, number retired, on the Toyota halftime after these messages.
First half highlights are brought to you by Nationwide, official sponsor of the NFL.
Waiting all day for Thanksgiving night.
And Lacy takes the pass, and Lacy is inside the 10 and all the way to the end zone. Gets it away and wide open for the touchdown is Zach Miller.
Nationwide is on your side.
Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Thanksgiving night. There it is, number 4. Officially adorning the facade here, the retired number of Brett Favre. What a scene that was. So, Chris, you can go home again.
Oh, thank goodness he came home again. But, you know, Brett Favre's going to get a lot of honors this year as he goes into the Hall of Fame, and everybody knows that's going to happen. But what better honor could you have to have Bart Starr, obviously not in the best of health, come out on a rainy night like this because he, one of the greatest of all times, wanted to come pay tribute to him. I mean, that's really as good as it gets, isn't it?
Bart Starr, as classy a guy as has ever played in the NFL. Spectacular career here, of course, and did a pretty good job coaching a couple of teams as well. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, after going 3 and out on 4 of their first 5 drives, John Fox told me his total offense simply calmed down late in that first half. As for Mike McCarthy, he was not pleased with Eddie Lacy, saying he has got to hold on to the ball. And he said this game was going to come down to extra effort because of the wet football. He said, my guys have to make extra effort and make those plays, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And that's why Lacy came out of the game. He had that fumble, and that did it for him because he had 72 yards on the ground in the first half. So Chicago, they deferred after winning the coin toss, get the ball to start the third quarter, and Matt Forte will pick up about 4 yards to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, I thought Jay Cutler in that first half was terrific, and it was a little bit of his shimmy with his shoulders, being able to escape some of the pass rushers. That was a big play there, and happened once again. Is going to step up and through. Find Zach Miller for the touchdown pass. He really started to get comfortable in the game. They hit him with everything early. A lot of those slot blitzes came home and really seemed to bother me. Had to throw away a couple of balls on third down early, but settled into a group, and the offense started going up and down the field.
And Cutler open, caught up to the 44. Alshon Jeffrey, Morgan Burnett makes the tackle. So the Bears certainly happy to have this guy back after he missed last week's game.
Just over the outstretched arms. It's going to go across the field there, and that was Clay Matthews. Tried to get back underneath that, but anytime you go that hard play action fake, those linebackers really have no choice, and Matthews tried to sprint back, just couldn't get there.
And the Bears playing without their number 1 receiver, the tight end Martellus Bennett. And a broken play, and Cutler will, with flag thrown, take it back to the line of scrimmage. So wanted to go to the right side. Might be a hold on Kyle Long. signaling against Chicago.
Brought another one of those blitzes out of the secondary.
Holding offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
We'll see Morgan Burnett coming out of the secondary, and then Kyle Long is just going to reach out and make sure his quarterback didn't get hit in the back of the head. There you go, a little stiff arm action. I don't think Sam Shields was anticipating that one.
Take this, Heisman.
Yeah, I'm going to stick that throwing arm in here. I'm going to drag you down with that.
1st and 20 from the 35. A little swing, flag again. And Forte, that's a decent gain, 10 yards, but
I don't know what Alshon Jeffrey is doing. He's lined up 2 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. This is going to be the 7th penalty against Chicago. They had none, 0 last week against Denver.
Offside, offense, number 17. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Lost his GPS.
I mean, come on, that's not even close. There's the line of scrimmage. I thought he was playing corner.
So 7 penalties, 45 yards.
He's got 2 other guys out there flanking him. You'd think one of them would say, hey, dude, moonwalk a little.
So back-to-back penalties. 1st down and 25 now. Screen, Forte. It's a 9-yard gain out to the 39-yard line. Demarius Randall makes the tackle.
Yeah, Demarius Randall, interesting young man. He came out, he was a safety in college, and the reason he was a safety was that people were so afraid to throw at him when he was playing corner. The coaches said, we're going to put you in the middle of the field. We have to get you involved in the action. He was the ultimate sort of Revis Island in college.
He was the #1 draft choice out of Arizona State last spring. Cutler throws. Jeffrey makes the catch, has blocking, and Alshon Jeffrey takes it all the way to the 44, but another flag is thrown at the Chicago 48-yard line.
Jay Cutler throws his arms up in the air.
Would have been a 17-yard gain.
Tripping, offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
Matt Slauson with the Bears' 3rd penalty in the series.
He's going to come down the field and sort of throw his leg backwards. If he's that athletic to know, let's take a look. You'll see him throw that back leg. Okay. Tripping.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's all we can do. We can make guttural noises.
You know, when you're diving on the ground, you don't always have control.
2nd and 16. And that's caught by Jeremy Langford, who gets tackled at the 40. That's what we'll do from now on. Instead of just analyzing penalties, we'll just make guttural sounds.
You know, I know what it's like to officiate this game, and how many times we sit up here and we watch 4 replays, and half the time we're not really sure, and you go back and forth, and they're doing it live, and I get all that stuff. I just don't know.
Got a whole bunch of sound effects for you. 3rd down and 11. 6 defensive backs in the game. Cutler looking right at Matthews here. Blitz coming. Got him. The 32-yard line. That's Quentin Rollins. Every so often tonight coming in off that corner with speed. A rookie out of Miami of Ohio.
And they have done the same blitz, basically bring him inside, which sets up the edge right there. So Quentin Rollins gets that direct path there to Jay Cutler, and he has no choice but to get it out. When it was 3rd down and that long, you pretty much know that Dom Capers is going to bring pressure, force you to throw hot, and then make the tackle or the sack in that case.
So 3 penalties on the series. Right now you have a 4th and 22, which means O'Donnell will make his 6th punt of the game. And at the 20-yard line, Cobb breaks away for the moment. stopped at the 22-yard line. 10-12 remaining in the third quarter in a 1-point game at Lambeau. And tonight's game on Thanksgiving night brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Chevrolet, find new roads. Then by American Express, the Saturday Small Business Saturday. Great time to grab your friends and family to shop small. Some of the small businesses here in downtown Green Bay that will be hosting a Small Business Saturday following Black Friday.
Your favorite day?
Going to the mall, whatever that is. Rodgers turns around and hands the ball off to Eddie Lacy up to the 28-yard line for a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
And we heard from the referees, and they made a very strong stand that was indeed tripping as he kicked that leg in behind him. So we will just report the news.
That's right. All the news that's fit to print, we'll report it. 2nd down and 4 from the 28-yard line. Lacy, get tough running up the middle up to the 38-yard line. So Eddie took a seat on the bench for a while after that fumble. Now has 86 yards.
There's Christian Jones, and here comes crowd favorite John Kuhn. And anytime the fullback can meet your linebacker 2 or 3 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage, you are going to have a problem. They may not take John Kuhn out now.
Lacy takes it up to the 40-yard line. Little first half buzz, what's been going on. Jay Cutler with 1 touchdown. Slow start, but came on a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, fewest passes to reach 250 TDs in the history of the league. So Lacy did. Here's Lacy again. So a heavy dose of number 27. And he takes it up to the 44-yard line. And Lacy now with 14 carries for 93 yards.
And we're so used to looking at Mike McCarthy on the sideline and wondering what he was going to call next. But it is not him now. It is Tom Clements who makes this call.
Mike in his 10th year, he called the plays for the first 9. But still obviously intimately involved in the game plan. Everything runs through him on the headset.
Tried that hard count again, why not?
Yeah.
This side, yellow boom, yellow boom, yellow boom.
Play clock at 2. Just get it off, and Starks picks up the first down. So a heavy dose of groundwork by the Green Bay Packers. First down, Green Bay at the 49-yard line.
Really a fairly easy one that time because the inside linebacker just seemed to walk to the other side and create the opportunity.
Quick toss. Blocking out in front, short side of the field goes Starks. Taken down by Christian Jones. Tom Clements, there he is, calling in the plays to Rodgers and doing it with alacrity because of the way Green Bay operates.
Yeah, they had a little players-only meeting this past couple of weeks ago before that Minnesota game. I don't think Aaron Rodgers was too happy with the preparation schedule of some of the young players on this team. A few too many video games being played and not enough homework.
The 3-game slump. People were starting to get real nervous in Packerland, but all was well after last week's win. Here comes the blitz. And Rodgers is able to hang in there, and it's caught, and that'll be a first down. Well, no, Devontae Adams dropped it, and Porter came in, Tracy Porter, to get it away from him at the last moment, and Adams looks around and says, "Where's the flag?"
He was definitely looking for one, and Porter got there, but was he after the ball? A little early contact. Definitely throws your vision off when you get hit in the back, but I think that arm wrapped around the front of him knocked the ball out, and the official said good play.
3rd down and 5 at the 46-yard line. Pressure again, and that is incomplete, and the crowd looks around for a flag, and they get it. That time it's Adrian Amos against Justin Perillo. Amos, the rookie out of Penn State, on a pass that would have been pretty tough to catch anyway, thrown over the top of his head.
Justin Perillo was the one that was...
Pass interference defense, number 38. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Right there and right there. Let's take a look. I think sort of tugging on the arm, maybe. I don't know. We're called New York.
The 26-yard line, first down. And it's dropped. Low pass intended for Adams. It's the fourth first down via penalty tonight for the Green Bay Packers, and the third on third down. So Bears helping to sustain drives here. As we said last week, the Bears, despite losing to Denver, committed 0 penalties against the Broncos. Tonight they've committed 9, and Green Bay has been penalized once. Second and 10. Side-off shot. Caught 22-yard line. That is Perillo to the 22. Amos is there to make the tackle, and that's going to make it third down and 5.
Well, Aaron Rodgers played for a long time beside Brett Favre, and you saw a little bit of all that stuff with Brett Favre as well. And he admits some of the footwork stuff he does, the way he keeps his feet moving, the way he backs out of throws sometimes, all a product of, in his words, watching one of the best of all time.
6 minutes to go in the quarter.
319.
Rodgers stepping away. He can run for a first down. Flag is down. He does as he slides to a halt at the 10-yard line, but there's a flag at the 27 in the middle of the field.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat third down.
Only the second penalty against Green Bay, this one on Josh Sitton.
Yeah, and just as Aaron Rodgers started to break away, you had Sitton, who was there in pass protection, and all of a sudden his guy started to break away this way, and he just grabs him a bit. Just sort of one of those natural reactions, but the official's there to see it, and that one's coming back. A little jersey tug, that's the easiest of all to call.
So third and 15, temperature at 33, so snow showers right on the edge of freezing here. 5.5 left in the quarter. Third down and 15. Oh, as it rolls by him with a little exclamation point. Covers up at the 45-yard line. The audio told you all you needed to know. And coming off the field slowly now, holding his hand is Rodgers. Take a look at this, but Rodgers was coming off the field holding onto his wrist, sure, his arm or wrist or elbow.
Uh-oh.
And now Green Bay forced the punt. But they have other issues right now, and that is out of bounds.
Like their season.
Yeah. The backup quarterback is Scott Tolzien. Watch his wrist here. Tolzien will probably get ready on the sideline, but we'll check on Rodgers when we come back. Obviously. Well, obvious concern here when we looked at the replays, whatever it is, arm or elbow or wrist, it's to the left or non-throwing arm. There's the helmet from Houston on the elbow of Rodgers. He was favoring the left arm coming off. They work on him. Tolzien warms up. It all started with a bad snap by J.C. Tretter, followed by a punt. There goes Rodgers off the field. Michelle will check on it, and Chicago will have the ball at the 14-yard line.
That's as bad a snap as you can possibly have now. Langford
is the running back, and Cutton's going to keep it himself, run it out to the 21-yard line.
And what looked like a sure field goal for the Green Bay Packers possibly ends in disaster there.
So Tolzien, he's got some experience, fifth-year guy, played at Wisconsin. Had a couple of starts back in 2013. 2nd and 4. Langford to back. Langford, the Michigan State rookie, plows ahead for a first down before a very quiet gathering right now at Lambeau Field, with everybody concerned about what's going on the Green Bay sideline. First down.
Yeah, we're seeing some big holes now. Hroniss Grasu, the center here, comes in, and here's a guy, a rookie, that has been making a bit of a name for himself. Will Montgomery started off the year, but boy, it's hard to think about anything else going on right now.
3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Bears up by 1. First down to the 26. Oh, dangerous pass, but he gets away with it. And Marquise Wilson for a gain of 11. Tackled by Matthews. That'll be a first down.
Wait, if Marquise Wilson doesn't play this perfectly by coming screaming back to the football, that one is going to be picked off there by Casey Hayward. They train you to come back hard to the ball on those screens, but not every receiver does. Wilson does something else right in this game.
And going nowhere this time is Langford. Dayton Jones has really come on of late. Had a couple of sacks last week. He's the #1 draft choice a couple of years ago from UCLA.
Boy, how about that quickness right there? Jumps right inside Kyle Long here. Long comes out on that stretch play and is just expecting to try and go work the outside edge, and maybe the guard could have had a chance to get out there, but Dayton Jones now, he is beginning to make a name for himself on this team.
Went to school at UCLA. He's a Hollywood guy, knows where the camera is. From the 33. Whoops. Oh, it's bounced up in the air, and it is loose and incomplete. Whew. A couple of very dangerous throws for Cutler on this trip. Langford, the intended receiver. Hayward almost had a pick, and that one almost was picked. So it's 3rd down and 14 now.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do if you're a receiver, if you can't get a handle on the ball, don't bat it straight up in the air. That looks like a volleyball set. You want to try to convert this, certainly, but you also don't want to do anything ridiculous for the lead. They're blitzing too.
And Cutler will throw, and it is incomplete, and a flag is thrown. That's Jeffrey, and you had Dimitri Goodson, who's going to get flagged. So a 3rd and 14 will be a first down for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, it's a one thing when you do blitz, you do create those one-on-one situations. There we go, right at the top.
The ball was placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Okay, well, there's Rodgers standing up on the sideline.
Tough to play defense in this league, isn't it, Al? Tough to play defense.
And that's caught by Wilson on the outside, and Wilson with another 11-yard pickup. So down the field they go. Penalties very important for both teams in this game. Let's go to Michelle for a report.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers was on the bench, and it was really difficult to see, although they were looking at his left arm, hand, and wrist. And we believe they put some tape on that. We just can't see where. As you can see, he's wearing that big heavy coat. Spent most of the time talking with the orthopedic surgeon on the bench. And up and about, we'll have to continue to watch.
All right, thank you, Michelle. So Rodgers walking around. Looks like he'll come back in the game. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Meanwhile, Chicago on this drive with 1:15 to go in the quarter. First down at the 38-yard line. And Forte will get stacked up, pushed back, line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Mike Pennell, the first guy to reach him.
Man, what a play by Mike Pennell. That was so perfectly done by him. Pennell's right here is just going to come up and stand up the center. Grasu, get those arms extended, come off, make the play. Can't play it better than that.
2nd and 10, final minute of the 3rd quarter. Blitz coming, open man, that's caught, but short of the first down to Zach Miller, the tight end who caught the touchdown earlier. Stop him at about the 30. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Great quarterback play. You get the blitz here, throw it right into it. Somebody has to try and cover up for the blitzer, right? So there it is. You bring that guy, I'm just going to throw it to the guy that he was supposed to cover. Jay Cutler now, instead of reacting negatively to these blitzes, is taking advantage right now.
And that's going to take us to the end of the quarter. That was a fast 3rd quarter. Good game, 14-13 Chicago. And Thanksgiving night football continues after this. All right, next Thursday, one night only, all-star cast, Queen Latifah, Common, Neo, David Allen Greer, Moore, The Wiz live next Thursday here on NBC. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, and one Brett Favre with you as we start the 4th quarter. Great game, great night for you. Congratulations. That had to be fabulous on the field.
It was electric, Al. You know, what an amazing experience, and to get to experience it with Bart Starr, my teammates and my family, and now we just need a Packer win.
Night to remember. 3rd down and 3. A lot going on obviously in this game. We'll see about Aaron Rodgers, who came out after the last series. Cutler throws, and that's caught, and that'll be a 1st down. Alshon Jeffrey makes the catch to move the chains, tackled by Shields. Here it was again. If you missed it at halftime, what a scene. You know, Bart's been fighting through a lot of ailments over the past couple of years, but wanted so much to be here tonight on a 33-degree night in the rain.
You can see his face. He was gritting his teeth. I mean, he was. It was amazing. I mean, that guy really was determined to be here.
Yeah, he was here for the Freeze Bowl, so I think
this was nothing.
Yeah, I think he was all right out there tonight.
This was a walk in the park for him. Here goes Cutler throwing, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time on Zach Miller.
Well, we've seen Zach Miller make a few one-handed catches for touchdowns. He made one against San Diego, I believe it was, earlier this year, and went with 2 here, a little bit too high to come down with that one. This is a little bit of a surprise, don't you think, Brett? I mean, we've seen the Packers have so much success against the Bears, and
so much success. The conditions are favorable, you would think, to the Packers. There's no reason to think that they wouldn't just run away with it, but you never know.
Alshon Jeffrey, and he's going to get a 1st down and a lot more as he is still on his feet inside the 5, setting up a 1st down and goal. Alshon Jeffrey coming back. He was hurt last week, missed the game. He's now caught 7 for 90 yards.
Yeah, and there's no question that Alshon Jeffrey has just made a huge difference. They have only played a few games together this year. Matt Forte and Jay Cutler and Alshon Jeffrey. I believe they've only played 3 games together, but you see now what this Bears offense can do when they get their weapons back on the field.
Cutler, after a very slow start, 18 to 28 now for 179 yards, and they give the ball off to Matt Forte, and Matt Forte will get to about the half-yard line. Stop just shy of the goal line. 2nd down and goal. I think, Brett, you need to have your number retired on a night like tonight. Remember when it was Sayers and Butkus had their numbers retired and you were in the game at Soldier Field?
It was awful.
Raining sideways.
It was like 5,000 people in the stand.
Right. 2nd and goal. And they're going to stuff him back to the line of scrimmage. So Forte is stopped back at the 3, setting up a big 3rd and goal.
Big Mike Neal on the outside, able to squeeze that one down. All you can do is hope to set an edge here. That's exactly what he does. Guy on inside of him. And they just met in the backfield, setting up a huge 3rd down. This is where they went to that bunch formation. See if they flip the formation and try and bring it all the way across the Last time the Packers lost the outside receiver up there coming across the field.
3rd and goal, you got Jeffrey, bottom of the screen, one-on-one. Cutler rolls that way, fires in that direction, and incomplete. So Jeffrey can't make the catch. Sam Shields one-on-one, and they'll settle for a field goal attempt.
A nice job by Sam Shields recognizing he didn't have to worry about Jeffrey going behind him, so he takes the underneath cut and really sort of prevents this ball from being delivered in there. Looked like Sam Shields got a little piece of that one.
But they had a 1st and goal. They had it inside the 1-yard line, and now they're back for a 21-yard field goal attempt. So a big stuff of Forte on a running play to the right side will limit them to a 4-point lead instead of a possible 8. And Gold's kick from 21 yards is good. 12:15 remaining in the 4th. We'll see about Aaron Rodgers coming back into the game. Looks like he will in a 4-point game at Lambeau on Thanksgiving night. Saw a lot of the scenes at halftime. This is one we haven't showed you yet. There's Aaron Rodgers coming back out for the second half, and Brett Favre going back after the ceremony. Brett Favre in the booth with us. Aaron Rodgers hopeful of getting back into the game, and should. So many things to talk to you about. What are you doing these days, number one? What's beside being on the tractor and fishing in your pond? And
biking a little bit, running a little bit, swimming a little bit, trying to stay in shape.
And what does Deanna have you doing?
Well, we're going to do a triathlon together. I'm going to try to beat her. I'm actually just going to try to finish. I'm going to try to get out of the water in one piece.
You out there swimming in the pond?
Go out in the lake, you know, there's crocs. Not crocs.
Crocs?
Not crocs.
Amazon.
But, yeah, you know.
That'll cost you $400,000 for getting that in there. Here comes Rodgers back in the game. Are you up for football? Saturday, 12:30 Eastern. League leading Leicester City looks to outfox Manchester United on NBC. Barclays Premier League Soccer coming your way Saturday on NBC SN. So from the 20-yard line, Rodgers is back. Pretty scary moment when he came off the field the last time. And on a delay, they give the ball to Eddie Lacy, having a big night. That's a gain of 6 yards for Lacy for 99 yards now on 16 carries.
Now, I don't want to sound silly, but is it possible that he got hit sort of like you get hit in the funny bone and it just sort of went numb on him and maybe scared him a little bit more than anything?
Very possible.
He is pretty indestructible. Talk about indestructible, though. There's only one man that I think about. Up to the 29-yard line. What's the closest you came 297 consecutive games to missing a game?
I would say there's two in particular. When I broke my thumb, we played, of all people, the Vikings next week in the Metrodome, which we never won there. And I had a broken thumb. And I thought, you know, with a good thumb, I'm not very good in the Metrodome. With a bad thumb, I'm an idiot. And I ended up playing one of the best games of my life. And the other time, excuse me, was actually when I played here against Green Bay, and I broke my foot, which people didn't know. We played New England the next week. Of course, we lost here in this game. I broke my foot and went on to New England next week. And funny thing there was I get hit in the chin and get 10 stitches in my chin. I knew the writing was on the wall then, Al.
Yep. Well, Lacy just picked up a first down. You think of the guys these days. I look at Roethlisberger. I mean, he looks indestructible. But it was amazing because we saw so many of the injuries, and you came off the field and you're going, he can't play next week.
I always thought I would play. I never really thought much about it until after. After I looked back at my career, I thought, man, how did you do that? And maybe that's a good way to look at it, not really dwell on it at the time.
I bet you I know one harder than that for you. When you came back here as an opponent, what was it like coming out of that other locker room?
I'm going to be honest with you. Scary. It was scary. And we played in the Metrodome first, so I thought it had broken the ice and I would be okay. But when we were driving up from Appleton and I got to all of a sudden see it from the other side, I'm not going to lie to you, there was an anxiety attack that I wasn't expecting. And so when I came out of the tunnel, that was the loudest boo I had ever heard. And part of me was really like, my chest kind of stuck out like, yeah. The other part of me was like, no, I have to play.
Here you go.
We'll remind you of
this.
Here you go.
Well, that's pretty serious.
November of 09.
Yeah. And my other guys like Sage is behind me, and they were egging me on, and I was just scared. I'm not even gonna tell you how scared I was. I wanted to play so well, obviously. I mean, how could you not? And fortunately, I did.
You're such a goof, though. I can't believe you didn't give him a wave or something.
Here's Rogers on a free play again, but they whistled it dead. So Rogers was able to do as he does so effectively and efficiently all the time, get him to jump offside, but it's the second time they've jumped off and whistled it dead. They're going to call this against Green Bay is the question. Hockley with a conference, and now the answer.
Neutral zone infraction defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Normally they let it go. They don't that time.
Well, usually if it's unabated to the quarterback, but I don't know where the unabated to the quarterback would have been here. So they blow it dead and might have cost the Packers a touchdown.
Right. Both times now. It's the second time that's happened.
We have seen this earlier in the year in the game against Seattle when they jumped off sides, and I don't think Mike McCarthy thinks that was the right call. Just a guess.
Yeah, I would agree.
But it makes it a first down. He gets the first down out of it. Would have been a 3rd down and 5 play. Clock now under 9 minutes. Starks is in the backfield with Rogers. A 4-point game. Aaron hangs in the pocket, then throws to the outside. Intended for Devontae Adams. Incomplete. Anybody, by the way, a lot of people to thank. Anybody that you didn't get a chance to thank?
You know what, Al? It's funny you say that. When I was here, I thought I thanked everyone, and when I left, I couldn't believe I'd left 3 great friends. Pat McKenzie, who is a team orthopedic, John Gray, who's a team doctor, who I'd just seen prior to walking out there, and then Brian Nearing, who has been who takes care of Aaron when he walks to the sidelines. Just a wonderful guy. And a great personal friend of mine who, dating back to when Deanna had cancer, took care of us, Ed Martin, flew us up here for this event, flew us up this summer, flew Deanna and I to New York for cancer treatment. Just amazing people, a long list of people who've made our stay here a special, just really the 16 years we spent here were amazing.
And you heard it tonight, 3rd down and 10. Now you got a timeout taken by Chicago, because they were running people on and off the field. Timeout. On we go in 72 hours or less. We'll be in Denver. The Patriots come in undefeated against the Denver Broncos. Brock Osweiler at the helm for that one. Football night starts 7 o'clock Eastern. Great Sunday night game. New England at Denver on NBC. All right, 3rd down and 10 after Chicago took a defensive timeout. Line of scrimmage is the 38 and a 4-point game. And Rogers under pressure. Here's another flag. And for the moment, he gets taken down there by Willie Young. The 10 penalties against Chicago tonight, 3 against Green Bay. You got Brian Bulaga.
Holding offense number 70. The penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Bulaga went down, and T.J. Lang with a penalty. So there is the Packer right tackle who has to take a knee. Injury timeout. So it's 4th down. Bulaga comes out, and it's 4th and 14, so into punt. And here's a look at the replay.
Yeah, talk about a bad hold. T.J. Lang inside is going to hold, and that hold is going to result into Brian Bulaga getting that bad left knee of his, getting hit one more time, and the sack.
Maste's punt is a bad one, and will bound out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. Skirmishing going on with 8:23, but Chicago's going to get the ball back. And a heavy underdog in this one is up 17-13.
The amazing thing and why it was an amazing game is the fact that it wasn't a playoff game. It wasn't the Super Bowl, but it had an eerie feeling about it, like it was going to be remembered that way.
We weren't expecting him to say that he was going to play. We had given him a pass. Your dad died. We get it. But this guy loves the game so much. His dad loved the game so much. And he knew that his dad would want him to go out and play.
That was a surreal night. It was 12 years ago. Chicago takes over here. And this is Langford, and we did that game on Monday night. I was with John Madden and wondering, how in the world are you going to play? Will you play? You think back 12 years, what comes to mind about that game?
I made the right decision to play. Of course, I didn't know how I would play. It turned out, all things considering, much better than I thought it would. It was tough, I knew the right decision was to play, but I felt like the only way this would be complete is to play at a high level, not just play. And that was a lot of pressure. And I felt like that playing was not honoring, but playing well was the way to honor him. And
mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Was it almost like an out-of-body experience?
Absolutely.
You were having sinking spells on the bench.
Absolutely. I had no idea what we were doing. The game plan, I totally forgotten. And I remember, the thing about that, when I look back, the teammates, I spoke to the team the night before. I couldn't really tell you what I said. I didn't have to speak. I just wanted them to know I may not be on the top of my game. And they said, wait, we have your back. You hear that from time to time, but there was something special about it. And it was obvious that they did, because I threw some balls that our guys should have never touched, and Oakland never touched them themselves, and we came down with it.
Divine intervention. That's caught by Mariani for a big first down on a 3rd and 10 all the way to the 44-yard line. Big conversion halfway through the quarter.
Yep.
Mariani just keeps making plays. These are sort of the bad news bears out here. Just keep finding ways to make plays and beat these defensive backs. And Brett, this is a little shocking. I mean, we've seen the Lions come in here a couple of weeks ago. They never win here. The Bears never win here, and Jay Cutler never wins here. And
well, they're making plays like that play in particular. The one thing that I think about was them on the goal line not capitalizing on. Will that come back to haunt them? Other than that, they got 3 points out of it. But 1st and goal from the 1. They may still win this game. I don't know, but they're making the plays when they need to make them, and that's what they haven't done.
It's first down.
Penalty there on Kyle Long, making it a 1st down and 15.
That doesn't help.
No.
Matt Hasselbeck's already send you a little message here.
He's upset you guys would not let me talk more. He loves to hear me talk because he hopes I'm going to talk about him.
There you go, Matt.
We saw the text.
He's an idiot, by the way. He's a total idiot.
He can't spell. He can't spell. He went to BC.
Right. Don't spell Chris's name right.
He can't spell Chris's name right.
We'll see him in a couple
Fortunately,
of
he can get Al right.
Barely. This is Langford to the 39-yard line. I'll tell you one thing, Brett, as we will wrap it up at the end of this segment and let you get about your appointed rounds. You had more fun playing the game than anybody I've ever covered, and we had so much fun watching you.
Well, thank you so much. I did have a lot of fun. I enjoyed visiting with you guys, too.
Terrific, man.
We'll do it again.
Oh, you bet. You bet. Grandpa, you got a couple of
Yeah.
Great. I love
That's
it.
right.
Great, man.
Chris,
congrats.
Thank you guys so
Brett
much.
Favre, what a night. Number 4 retired. There it is for all time.
A whole generation of kids are going to hope they played the game like that guy right there.
Jeremy Langford is the back on a 2nd down and 6, and Langford will swing to the outside and get nowhere. Stopped in the backfield by Mike Neal. So another key 3rd down. They all get key in a situation like this, especially for that Packer defense. 3rd down and 11.
We're seeing more and more of this happening on these stretch plays. These linemen are moving that way, and Mike Neal just peels right inside and is able to get there for a big stop. And this has been in the first quarter where Jay Cutler couldn't make a play, and really since then he's made all kinds of plays on 3rd and long.
From the 45-yard line. Clock running down to 5 minutes left in the 4th, and again a stoppage. And
timeout, Chicago.
Chicago takes a timeout. Play clock running out. 3rd and 11 when we come back to Lambeau. So 3rd down and 11 after the Chicago timeout. They have 1 remaining. And 3rd and 11 from the 45-yard line of the Packers. The ball on his side of the field and appears to be able to cover it up. So 3rd and 11 will turn into a 4th down at about 20 or so. But at least they retain possession and get to punt it away.
Quentin Rollins one more time off the edge, and he actually sees the ball and kicks it back into the hands of Jay Cutler. He was the first one to it. Cutler just takes his eyes off the ball, and basically Quentin Rollins couldn't handle it, and it squirts right back to Jay Cutler. What a huge play.
This is O'Donnell's 7th punt of the game. He's averaging 39 per boot. And will bounce at the 10-yard line and pin Green Bay at the 9-yard line with 4:09 left at Lambeau Field. Sunday Night Football on Thanksgiving night, brought to you by Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone, now playing by PlayStation 4, the best place to play. By Miller Lite, now back in its original bottle. It's Miller time, and by the newly redesigned Volkswagen Passat. And again, a great big thank you, mahalo, appreciation to our crew with these guys and gals for about 4 months. Spectacular work. And happy Thanksgiving to them and to all of you on this Thanksgiving night from Green Bay. So a 4-point game as Rodgers rolls out and looks for that first down. Comes close, and we go to Michelle.
Well, the update on Aaron Rodgers is really nothing. They haven't been looking at his wrist, haven't been looking at anything. He's been fine on the sidelines, but now he's without right tackle Brian Bulaga, who went to the locker room questionable with a left ankle injury. And when they get back on defense, cornerback Demarius Randall is officially out with a knee injury, Al.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. So Don Barclay comes in, number 67 at right tackle to replace him. Rodgers rolling away, buying time. He's going to take off again. And Aaron Rodgers with a 20-yard gain. So after he had rushed for 10, officially here 19, 29 on 2 scampers.
Obviously not feeling great, but on Brett Favre night, no way in the world or Aaron Rodgers wants to let this win get away. Back-to-back runs to get his team moving.
I think you're right. Maybe it looked like it was the funny bone. It looked more serious than that when it happened. But no ill effects right now, and that's a 10-yard gain for Richard Rodgers. Rodgers to Rodgers for what should be a first down, and is.
Just nobody in the flat whatsoever, and not sure who was supposed to be out there. That was a bizarre-looking coverage on the part of the Bears.
Again, and it's intercepted at the 45-yard line. Tracy Porter. So after 3 plays, net 3 first downs, Rodgers, who's thrown only 3 picks all season until now, throws one here.
Well, Chris Prasinski, who has had a big role in this game tonight, is going to come down here, and Adams is going to stop on the route. He kind of gets bumped off of it, and the ball ends up getting thrown right to Tracy Porter. Prasinski comes down, tangles Adams just a bit, and the ball goes straight to Tracy Porter, and Aaron Rodgers can't believe it.
So the only good news for Green Bay right now is they have all of their timeouts, plus you have the 2-minute warning, so the clock can be stopped 4 times by the Green Bay Packers if necessary.
You know it's a weird night when Aaron Rodgers gets intercepted here.
At the 45-yard line now, Chicago play a little clock pull. Forte, not a bad way to start, gain of close to 5 out to the 50-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, and Green Bay is going to take a timeout. Skycam coverage tonight being brought to you by Geico. Hovering above the field at Venerable Lambeau Field. Cutler started real slowly tonight, but up to 200 yards, and very uncharacteristic numbers for Aaron Rodgers with 31 pass attempts at 137 yards. So he's averaging about 4.5 yards per attempt.
You know, and it's been a weird run here. This team's so hot in the beginning, and then they went through the 3-game slump, and you come back against Minnesota and you go, okay, everything's bright with the world again. But this has more been like that 3-game slump that they ran, and it kind of started in Denver, right? All that man coverage and the great defense, and maybe they come up with a little formula that other teams have copied now.
And then they went to Carolina, got beat, and they went to
Detroit,
home and lost to Detroit for the first time in a million years. And to the outside, Forte, and he's going to pick up about 3. He got a flag down, so that'll stop the clock before what would have been a 3rd down and 2.
Offense number 55, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
That'll be now a 2nd down and a lot more. Grasu, the rookie center, is the guilty party.
Clay Matthews right here in the gap, and Grasu's going to come over, and right as Matthews was getting ready to reach out to make the tackle, little grab of the shoulder, and it was caught.
Again, the standings right now, boy, Minnesota sitting there rooting for a Chicago win, because that puts them back in the driver's seat. If they win this week in Atlanta, 7-3, Chicago would go to 5-6, and the Lions have won 3 straight to get to 4-7. Now Langford to the outside, and he'll get bottled up, and Green Bay should take another timeout here, which they will, to give them 1 remaining. NFL fans, you can order your holiday gifts from NFLShop.com. Order today, save up to 20% off the official store of the NFL, NFLShop.com.
You know, I think it's really easy, Al, to talk about all the Packers offense isn't doing this and whatever. Bears defensively have played some football tonight. You know, it looked like they caught a little bit of a break, bad break early on. Got the penalty down there, led to that first touchdown, and really they've squeezed down pretty good since then. Vic Fangio. God, it's so hard to see. Here we go, that Vic right there. Comes over from San Francisco, and he knows what he's doing, and they don't have great big physical bodies in that front 7, great linebackers the way that he did in San Francisco, but he knows what he needs. He's getting there. They're learning. And they put on a good show tonight.
Real good show tonight. Third and 14. Langford swings to the outside, turns it upfield, and he's going to be a little short of the first down. Stopped by Clinton-Dix. And Green Bay will take its final timeout. So now you have a 4th and 1. And there's no, you can't go for it. There's no way. The ball's at the 46-yard line. You're going to have to boot it away.
I saw Bill Belichick go for it once on a 4th and 2 because he didn't want to face a great quarterback, and that's a little bit of the same dilemma you got here.
Yeah, he went for a 4th and 2 on his own, like 25-yard line or so.
Yep.
Yeah, in Indianapolis a few years back on Sunday Night Football.
You certainly don't want to give number 12 too many opportunities, and it's like he's going to get one more.
Rained all night. Steady soaking rain. Temperature at the moment right at the freezing mark, 32 degrees. And O'Donnell will send it down toward Cobb. Cobb's going to let it go. Takes a bounce into the end zone, so Aaron Rodgers will go to work from the 20.
Let's go back and take a look at that left elbow getting hit right there by Houston. Clearly bothering him, comes off on the field, but you can tell just by the way he's handing it off there with his right hand instead of his left. A couple of missed throws. He's made a few good ones too. He took off and run twice in that last one, but here was the interception as a result of getting tangled up with Chris Brzezinski. And now here we go. One of the great quarterbacks of our time on the night that they honored one of the great quarterbacks in NFL history, and Brett Favre, and you know he wants this win.
So that rating, the average rating in the league this year is around 90. So that tells you what kind of night the guy who's the all-time leader in that category is having. And from the pocket, he throws, and Davante Adams cannot haul it in over the middle. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
I think I'm getting Brett in there. I knew I'd do that eventually tonight. Aaron, that time, was looking for his receiver to come flying in there. He needed him to get on the other side of the linebacker, and he just sort of eased his way in there, and he just didn't feel like he had time to wait.
And a little swing out to Starks. He has a lot of room, and James Starks takes the ball out to the 39-yard line. They hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Brzezinski makes the tackle, under 2.5 to play.
Need to get as many snaps off as you possibly can, and boy, we have not heard a word tonight from James Jones, have we? I don't think he's caught a ball.
No. Pass caught on the outside by the tight end Perillo to stop the clock. With 2:08, the clock can stop once more at the 2-minute warning. Green Bay out of timeouts.
A little bit of a prevent. There's screens and draws, and Aaron Rodgers runs are always still a possibility. Plenty of time here.
2nd down and 6.
Hey, yellow boom with pitch. Pitch, yellow boom with pitch. 319. 319.
Bobble snap, and then it's Starks picking up the 1st down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. But a good beginning to this drive. Ball will be spotted at midfield. Good game on Thanksgiving night with Chicago leading by 4 over the Packers.
Time to win the fight on Thanksgiving night.
Volkswagen post-game report. John Madden's going to pick the players of the game, turkey legs and game balls to be awarded. Look ahead to Sunday night, when we'll be in Denver for New England and the Broncos. First things first, though, 2 minutes to play. No timeouts for Green Bay. They have it at their own 49-yard line. And Rodgers slipping to his left and then throws that one over to the Green Bay bench. 2nd down and 10.
Let's take a look here. Is he throwing it any differently? Doesn't look like he's protecting it in any way. The matchup you've got to watch is on the outside right up there. You've got Pernell McPhee, their best, against the backup now, Don Barclay.
50-50. Got it.
Bears initially showing blitz. Back off, and Rodgers fires over the middle, caught on the run. Cobb is out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Randall Cobb, 6 catches for 74 and 32 big yards there, and out of bounds too. 1:47 to play.
No question, that was the matchup they were looking for all night long, and it's taken this long to take advantage of it.
From the 19-yard line.
Watch man. Here we go, 50. 319. 319.
Rodgers, little dump. Starks. And he gets tackled at the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. 1.5 minutes and rolling.
This little dart route right here is what they've been trying to get to all night long against the rookie Bryce Callahan. And boy, it has taken a long time for that to take effect.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers flips it off again, and that one is incomplete. Starks having to go through his hands to make it a 3rd and 7.
Well, those screens just have been there, but now you're coming right down to the game on the line here. 3rd down, an opportunity for the Chicago Bears. They have not really been willing to come and try and go get Aaron Rodgers. You also have to keep an eye on him now. He may take off and run with one here. There have been some gaps for him to run if he chooses.
They go 3 by 1, 3 receivers to the left side on a 3rd down and 7.
2 deep safeties. Gaps throughout that
Play
defensive
clock at
line.
1. Just do get it off. And Rodgers fires over the middle, and that will be caught at the 8-yard line. Davante Adams, 1st down. Tackled by Porter. Clock ticks down to a minute to play.
I don't think Tracy Porter could believe he didn't get a hand on that ball. He was all over that one.
1st and goal on a drive that began back at the 20-yard line. Rodgers rolling away. And then fires at the last moment, incomplete. That stops the clock. McClellan put the rush on. It'll be 43 seconds. They just got that play off the play before that play clock. You can see right there, just as it goes to 0.
Porter was right there, and somehow Davante Adams stayed with it for a huge 1st down. That would have been 4th down at that point.
So 2nd down and goal from the 8, 43 seconds. Good protection. Dancing away. Fires out of the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Richard Rodgers. So it's 3rd down and goal with 36 ticks.
We have seen right there has been the guy they've been looking for. In this case, it was Randall Cobb, and really pretty strong job there by the linebacker Christian Jones, staying with him and taking that one away.
Yeah, that's a matchup you'd think you'd want.
No question.
Cobb on Jones. Meanwhile, James Jones quiet all night, wide to the right on 3rd down and goal.
Cobb in the backfield now.
And Rodgers under pressure, gets away, throws, and it's dropped in the end zone. James Jones. Rodgers nearly gets sacked, keeps the play alive. Jones can't hang on. They're down to their last play.
Barely getting his hand in there that time is Tracy Porter. Watch him just see it at the last minute and strip it out. So close for James Jones.
Comes down to this play from the 8-yard line, 4th and goal. 29 seconds. Rodgers escaping to his left, fires in the end zone, batted and incomplete. Intended for Adams. Bryce Callahan, boy, he's had a nice night. Rookie free agent, played at Rice, has done a job, and the Chicago Bears, heavy underdogs, will have come into Lambeau Field on a night that Brett Favre gets his number retired and pulled off pretty stunning upset.
Unbelievable. Here we go. There's Davante Adams right there. Just going to work his way down in beyond the goal line. And there's Callahan all over him. You know, the little movement, the little scrambles, you hope your receivers make some sort of a break back to you. Obviously, you can't come out of the end zone, but there was room to come back to the ball. But the high delivery really gave no opportunity right there. These defensive backs, they should celebrate. They've had a great night.
A kneel down will end it. And I'll tell you, dessert tasted real good tonight for the Minnesota Vikings. They can now control the NFC North because they go to Atlanta on Sunday, and if they win that, they're back up on top in the division. And so for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, they've now lost 4 of their last 5. They seem to have had everything together last week, played their best game of the season in Minnesota. Cutler and the Bears come in and pull off
the new Papa.
Yeah.
A little special gift for the baby.
Final pass of the game. Aaron Rodgers gets it away. Batted away. And for Mr. John Fox in his first year as the head coach of the Chicago Bears, a very nice Thanksgiving tree. Volkswagen post-game report, Madden players of the game, and all of the rest next.